Let's imagine that you never want to hit another pothole again. What would be the best way of achieving this? Now, I know a lot of you will drive, so you're expecting a driving answer, and I'll give it to you. The best way to ensure that you are very unlikely to hit a pothole when you're driving your car is just to leave a proper gap between you and the car in front. The reason why that's important is that if your car gets too close to the car in front, you don't have enough visibility on the road, potholes will appear from underneath the car in front of you, and you won't have time to avoid one of them, and you'll hit it. So that's like the sort of first thing about not driving into a pothole. The second thing is to understand why potholes form. Basically what they are is where there's a crack in the road and water penetrates down into the road, and the water gets into the surface below the asphalt on the road. And when it gets cold, or when a heavy vehicle drives over that, it deforms the structure underneath the asphalt, and eventually that water will remove some material by flowing. It'll dissolve some material under the crack, and then you end up with a cavity, and then eventually a car or a truck drives over the asphalt and creates a depression. So basically, potholes are caused by cars, and that's why potholes always line up with the wheels of your vehicle. Fundamentally, the reason why people hit potholes and they cause a lot of damage is that the car sit at a certain point on the road, and you have a limited ability to steer around potholes, because if you go too far, obviously you're going to drift into the oncoming lane, you're going to have problems with other wide vehicles. So like a top level way to avoid potholes and to almost never hit one is to ride a vehicle that only has two wheels. So your options basically are motorbikes or bicycles. Now, you might say, well, hitting a pothole on a bike of any sort is more dangerous for you than hitting a car. And it is, but it's also a lot easier to not hit a pothole. If you're on a motorbike, you've got enough speed, you go straight down the middle of the road, potholes will be to either side, not really going to have a problem. If you're on a bike, you can ride to the left of almost all potholes. It's very rare that there's a pothole that's so big, and also because I'm on a bike, I'm usually pretty local to where I live. I basically know where all the potholes are, so I never hit any. So I just thought that if you want a tip to make sure, like me, who's basically a 40-year-old man who's never had to pay for pothole damage, try using a different vehicle.